Have you ever heard the phrase, man in the middle? It turns out that's where the word champion comes from. Back in ancient times, instead of two whole armies fighting and a lot of people dying, each side would pick their best warrior to come out and face off. The winner of that one-on-one battle won the war for the entire army. Think about the most famous example of this, David and Goliath from the Bible. Goliath was a massive man, a true giant, and he was the champion for the Philistines. Every day he'd come out and taunt the Israelites, daring them to send their champion to fight him. Everyone on the Israeli side was terrified, and for days no one answered his challenge. Then came David, just a young man. He heard Goliath's taunts and was brave enough to tell King Saul he would fight. Everyone, the king, his brothers, told him he was crazy, but David wouldn't back down. He knew he had to be the man in the middle for his people. King Saul even gave him his own armor, but it was way too big. David decided to go with what he knew, his simple shepherd's clothes, his staff, and his sling. He had used these tools to protect sheep from bears and lions, and now he was going to use them to protect his people. Think about the fear the Israelites had. None of them were brave enough to face Goliath, yet they watched this young man walk out to meet him. Their fate depended on David. Could he even stand a chance? Was there any hope? When David walked out into the valley, he was a champion for all of Israel. He stood in the middle, facing the enemy, while the entire nation stood behind him. Goliath looked at him and laughed, mocking David for being so young. But David had a powerful response. He told Goliath that while he came with a sword and a spear, David came in the name of the Lord. He was confident that God would give him the victory. And we all know how the story goes. David ran towards the giant, put a single stone in his sling, and hit Goliath right in the forehead, knocking him to the ground. Then David used Goliath's own sword to cut off his head, raising it for everyone to see. The Philistines ran away, and Israel won the day, all because of their champion. If only we had a champion, a man in the middle, to fight for us. What David did was a lot like what Jesus did for us. The Bible describes us as sinners without hope and without strength, with no way to save ourselves. The book of Romans says that while we were still sinners, without any strength, Jesus came and died for us. We were hopeless, with no way to defeat our enemy, which is sin. We needed a champion, and Jesus is that champion, our man in the middle. He died on a cross, raised up for the world to see, with a thief on either side of him. He was literally the man in the middle between two sinners. Not only in the middle between two sinners, but raised up on the cross, in the middle between earth and heaven, between us and God. But he wasn't there for his own sins. He was there for ours. He took the sins of the world upon himself. His life on the cross gave us hope, because 3 days later, he came back from the dead. The resurrection is what proves there is more to life than what we see on this earth. Jesus is no longer on the cross. He's in heaven, sitting on the right hand of God. The Bible calls him our high priest, someone who stands in the presence of God for us. He's the one in the middle, interceding for us, between us and God. Hebrews 4:14 says that because we have this great high priest, we can come boldly to the throne of God to find mercy and grace when we need it most. Hebrews 7 says, therefore, he is also able to save to the uttermost those who come to God through him, since he always lives to make intercession for them. We don't have to fight our battles alone. We have a champion, a man in the middle. He is our good shepherd, and his name is Jesus Christ. We need to stand behind him and trust him to fight for us. The Bible tells us to look to Jesus, who is the author and finisher of our faith. He's the one that started our faith journey, and will see it through to the end. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Please do me a favor and like the video. Share it with someone who will enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel. God bless.